Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. This is so much fun driving an old Skoda. What am I saying? Driving an old Skoda Superb. Now, tension मत लो, पूरा vlog आएगा. अभी तो हम बस I'm getting a feel of the car, ripping it apart, getting really hard onto the throttle and extracting every one of those 95 horses. I'm saying 95 because originally it came 140 horses. With every year some of the horses left, उनकी जुदाई हो गई, जिसकी वजह से अभी काफ़ी कम घोड़े बचे हैं इस कार में. Now you can see that of course this is a lot of fun to drive, you know why? Because hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is Neha's Skoda Superb. Yes, that's right. It gets this flip key which is there in almost every VW car. Anyway, straight away let's open the engine bay of this rather vintage old car. This is older than Neha actually. And this is the engine bay. It gets hydraulic struts. It also gets something which improves the performance of the engine by cooling it further. It's a material which we call in Mumbai as fungus. And there it is. Say hi fungus. Okay, it says hi. Anyways, this is the TDI motor. The battery comes from KTM. That's why it's so bright orange. And of course, the car still looks quite elegant in spite of its age. Now, it gets a towing hook here because it really needs one. It gets a projector setup. It is a Xenon HID. You know, they've put all the specs on the inside itself. Can you see that? It says Xenon, 1 second, 70mm and whatnot. Like really? And it says Superb here. Headlight washers, which probably don't work. And the fog lamps were really thirsty, so they have been given some water and they didn't bother to come out either. Front parking sensors, towing hook, which I already spoke about. The grille looks nice. In fact, the car looks really nice and elegant. When you come to the side, you realize that the car is super duper elegant. You know why is it so elegant? Because that time Skoda used to do very understated elegant design. Now of course they're going the sharper route and you get this chrome line which accentuates the elegance of this car by around 2.5%. The wheels have a special feature known as rust, which is there in plenty. Of course, this is a car from 2010, probably somewhere around that. 205/60/16 is the size of the tires, and it is a long car with a long wheelbase as well. And coming to the rear, there's a party trick which I want to show you. Okay, the lights look nice at the rear as well. Split lights, split tail lights. Get the chrome lining right there. You get this thing as well. What is it? A subtle lip spoiler too, and gets dual exhaust, which are functional ones, not the fake ones, which obviously companies have resorted to doing right now, but in those days none of that used to happen. Rear parking sensors, but there's no reverse parking camera. Let's open the boot. Oh my god, the boot doesn't open much. The lip is small. How do you put in stuff? Because the boot is actually decently big. So yes, there's a party trick here as well. Let me shut this. Can you read this? Well, you read it. Now I'm going to open it the other way. So here, and check this out. Oh my god, yeah, you can open the boot in two freaking ways. That is so cool. You get these pillows which I would never ever touch because this smells so creepy. The car actually smells a lot and weird as well. Well, that's the age and maybe not maintained properly as well. Either rather, whatever am I saying. Okay, that was some effort to put the boot lid down. Coming to the rear, there is good amount of space on offer. I know a lot of people had the Superb just because of the space. Look at the amount of space on offer, although some animal came and bit off the leather seats, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, the leather is kind of waning off. But you get sun blinds at the rear which are massive in terms of size. Yeah, big enough. Like look at this. The amount it covers is really awesome. Obviously it gets leather treatment, it gets wood. And the interior feels really nice and rad too. But there's a nice hump in the center. Two people are more comfortable. Don't expect me to sit inside the car because it's smelling weird AF. And there's a sunroof at the front. But we'll just get to the front. I don't know how I'm going to do this vlog driving part sitting inside this car because I need to wear my mask right now. I think I should wear my mask. Okay, obviously you get memory seats at the front and electric adjust as well for the driver. Multiple airbags, which I don't know if they will work in this age or not. And of course, power window controls, which are like very similar to what we have seen in other VW Skoda cars. Dashboard actually looks quite nice. I like the dashboard design more than the new Skoda cars, being very honest about that. And this is an afterthought, of course. No, Neha did not put it aftermarket. Okay, this one comes from Mahindra. The audio system comes from Mahindra. And it did not get a reverse parking camera, but it got sensors both at the front and the rear, which was really nice. Glove box is decent sized as such, and I like the dashboard design a lot. I like the instrument cluster as well, and the steering controls, the steering wheel. I like the aesthetics of this car. I think they've done a great job. This is the DSG box, which thankfully hasn't blown yet. Traction control button, tire pressure monitor, parking sensors, lot of storage space here and there, and of course there's a perfume which is not helping at all at the moment. Now to open the hood of the car, there is the lever. I don't even understand why it's on the other side. There's a sunroof here. Oh my god, this opens or not? It's kind of jammed, and yeah, you can open it. let's do one thing. There's a mirror and a light. That's super cool. Let's do one thing. Let's turn on the car. Then Neha is looking कि क्या कर रहा है? Is he bitching about my car? Well, I am actually doing it, and hopefully she doesn't see the vlog, but she's going to see it. She's going to kill me for sure because I've said so many bad things about it already. There, it does a full swipe up. There are some warning lights. Airbag warning. Yeah, airbag warning is no, it's gone. But it's showing engine warning, ABS, traction control. Oh, okay. The car is not turned on because why is it not turning on? There, it rose to life. And it's making this noise. There's a steering warning coming there. If anyone is having mechanical knowledge, please let me know where I can get this further ruined. Okay, it's telling me exactly which door is open. Let's shut the door for a moment, and then it shuts with a proper thud. Tire pressure monitor, traction control, ABS, error, ASC. I mean, you name a warning, it gets everything. It's like complimentary warnings are being given at every given moment. Now let's turn on this system. Okay, it says Skoda. It says Skoda, welcome on board. The good thing is audio quality is actually quite decent. It's nice and impressive. I like the audio system on this car. Such an old car, such great audio system, unbelievable. Press this button to actually change the clock, and these buttons are for the audio system, of course. Now this is also for the audio system. This is for phone call. This is going back in a menu. Okay, this main menu, which is like really expansive as such, and this is for the wipers. Okay, there is a decent amount of spray on offer here. And you know what, this is for the cruise control. So for a car of this age, it's actually quite well maintained. However, the main thing is that this is a car which has so many features for that time, so that's really nice. Okay, the seat is comfortable. I'm quite impressed by the Superb in spite of this being so old. It's done 1,15,000 kilometers since the time Neha put it in Uber. So yeah, it's piling on a lot of kilometers, but you really care about the driving experience. So let's get driving slightly before anyone recognizes. All right, let's get going. Turning on the car, full swipe up. ये गाड़ी क्यों नहीं ऑन होती एक गो में? Into drive mode. Okay, we are in drive mode. We are not in sport mode. नेहा drive mode है कि sport mode है दिख नहीं रहा है यहाँ से, क्योंकि वो steering की position ऐसी मेरे को ऊपर करके दिखना पड़ रहा है. अभी स्पोर्ट में है. अच्छा हाँ, ऊपर दिख रहा है D1 D2. यू नो एक सेफ्टी फीचर इस कार में, मैट इतना मोटा है ना कि तुम पूरा एक्सीलेटर दबा ही नहीं सकते, जैसे फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी बढ़ती है. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू गेट ऑन टू दिस रफ रोड अगेन. दिस इज अ मोटरसाइकिल हाईवे. आई थिंक दिस इज ARI's रोड. दे कीप टेस्टिंग समथिंग और द अदर ऑल द टाइम. Finally, we are vlogging on Neha's Skoda Superb. I am so excited to drive this car. Did I just say bang?
Sitting right now in the car.
तो तुम क्या हैंड ब्रेक खींच लोगी? चला तो हम रहे हैं. Now you have to be really very careful and slow over roads like these because the suspension is on the stiffer side. Now the car actually looks lousy, मतलब सॉफ्ट लगती है. अगर आप बाहर से देखेंगे तो आपको लगेगा बहुत ही सॉफ्ट गाड़ी है, लेकिन आपको मनोरंजन मिलता है जब आप ये. Okay, why am I talking Hindi? So yeah, over bad roads you have to be really very slow. Even motorcycles overtake you from the left side. ये पता है ना? 2 years back I put this in her car. वो अभी तक ये परफ्यूम अभी तक लगा हुआ है. जस्ट इमेजिन, ये 2 दिन में खराब हो जाता है बॉम्बे में क्योंकि इतनी ज़्यादा ह्यूमिडिटी और फंगस है. बट एनीवेज, लेट्स नॉट टॉक अबाउट दैट. सो ओवर सच रोड नाउ यू हैव टू बी वेरी स्लो because the suspension is on the stiffer side, which is surprising. They've also raised the ground clearance, I think, by 20 mm. But the suspension travel is good. However, you can't really speed up on bad roads because the suspension is just not compliant enough, which is surprising and shocking because you would expect a Superb to be smooth and refined, which, by the way, the new generation of the Superb is. However, on such roads, just slow down. The good part is that, you know, when you speed up on good roads, the ride flattens out beautifully, but on bad roads you can feel a lot inside the cabin. And suspension is also noisy, and because this is an old car, obviously it's more noisier, and the suspension also got weak over time. पुराना हो गया है, इसको एक botox चाहिए. I mean, we need to change the springs of the car. Now stop hitting Neha. Now you can see that if you drive it slowly it's fine, but you get hard onto the gas and it doesn't respond. Actually it's sleeping because of this सेफ्टी फीचर वेयर, मतलब वो करने नहीं देता, एक्सीलेटर डालने नहीं देता. आई थिंक नेहा ने पर्पसली डाला है कि ना गाड़ी तेज ना चलाए ये बंदा. बट एनीवेज, आई एम स्टिल गोइंग टू बरी माय राइट फुट टू द ग्राउंड एंड होप फॉर द बेस्ट. Brakes are a little lousy, yeah. That initial bite is missing, but overall braking performance is actually quite nice. Steering is a surprise. Okay, it's light, but it weighs up beautifully well, and there's no slack on the steering wheel. It's one of the best electric power steerings other than the second generation of the Swift, which also I have, by the way. Steering is really a surprise. It's so splendid. I love the steering wheel, and because the ride is on the stiffer side, the suspension is on the stiffer side, it obviously is not a badass. Okay, that is whatever. So because the suspension is on the stiffer side, it actually tracks well, and it is a car which handles very nicely. In fact, Skoda has done a brilliant job in the way they have set up this car. It's very European in that sense with the suspension on the stiffer side. And you know what? Tight corners is not its forte. However, if you drive this car over long sweepers, it responds beautifully well. I love the steering on this car. I actually like the interiors as well, but it's time. Accelerator. Oh my god, the power! Just kidding. Okay, it's not as much as I tried to portray. There's obviously turbo lag in this car. There's another Superb. That's the new one. Now, because of so many people requesting, specifically, I'm going to mention the name of the person who has requested this car to come back, Mr. Jasminder. We are having the Skoda Superb back on the channel with the vlog. And I'll tell you honestly, I kind of love this generation of the Superb. But that car has replaced this car, unfortunately, in Neha's lineup. Actually, what happened now, she had given this car. Okay, I'm going to say this. Neha, close your ears. She was running this car in Uber and Ola, or maybe in Zoom car. इसलिए ये 2 साल से गायब है.
मैंने तुमसे छुपा के रखी थी.
तो I'll tell you one thing. छुपाना भी नहीं आता.
और छुपा दी, but वो मेरे को backfire हो गया. So now this time I'm going to honestly tell bye bye to this one.
अच्छा, so she's saying bye bye, which means that she's not caring about how I drive this vehicle. So let's give it the beans.
I don't care. She is still
my what? पैडल शिफ्टर्स है गाड़ी में. मजा आ गया. ये देखो कौन सा कलर पता है? मॉर्गिनी ब्राउन.
वो मेरी तो जा रही है आगे.
ये एक्स-ट्रॉनिक लिखा हुआ है. इट्स अ CVT, इट्स अ पेट्रोल. हाँ, एंड देयर इज नो रियर वाइपर वॉशर इधर. गाड़ी लॉक है कि नहीं?
हाँ, लॉक हो जाती है.
ऑटो लॉक. गर्मी इतनी हो रही है.
गर्मी.
All right, now is the thing you're waiting for. We're going to get into sport mode. We're going to turn off traction control off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. 4,500 RPM, and Neha is almost in tears when she saw me launch the car, and now the car has brakes, right? The best thing about this car is there's no speed alert system, and that is the real USP of this vehicle. Of course, if it doesn't stop when you apply brakes, you can obviously jump out of the window, but the power window is also not working in this car. The windows won't open, so you can't do that either. However, the performance from this 2-liter diesel engine is absolutely fantastic. There is turbo lag lower down, but the mid-range is really very strong. It spins its wheels with a lot of enthusiasm as well. We're having 140 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque, which comes in at a low 1750 RPM. Mated to a 6-speed DSG gearbox, which is dynamic shift gearbox, which happens to be a dual clutch unit. It has 2 clutches, one for odd and one for even, and that's the reason why shifts are actually quite fast. It's eager. In sport mode, you can feel the enthusiasm from this car. It really pulls nicely for a car which has done 115,000 kilometers. Yes, high speed stability is absolutely fantastic. It tracks straight, dead ahead, and even the steering wheel has so much feel and feedback. If I want to make a lane change, here you see absolutely dead straight. Fantastic. In fact, along long sweepers, the car works beautifully well. There's good amount of grip on offer. However, tight corners, you have to make a little bit more effort from the steering wheel, but the steering is a joy to use. It's absolutely fantastic, the steering wheel. Yeah, braking performance is nice. The suspension now feels a little softy because it's become old, but suspension travel is also quite nice, and that is the reason why the car actually feels a little uncomfortable over bad roads, but on good roads it is beautifully well composed. Bad potholes really affect the car. Here we go, man. 4,500 RPM redline. You know, once the turbo kicks in Yona, it absolutely pulls strongly with the kick in the pants wheel. I miss this diesel engine in the new Superb. I miss the characteristic of this car. The character, the drama, the essence, all of that has gone in the new Superb, which just feels so softy and has some roly-poly also going on. This doesn't have roly-poly because, I mean, it has some body roll, but not in that level of extent, because obviously this car is well measured. It is so fun to drive. That's the reason it has been the taxi in a lot of places, and Neha also put in a taxi segment with Ola and Uber. And Ola Uber था या Zoom car था? अभी सच बता दो.
You have accepted कि this is a good car, okay? This is not a bad car.
So Neha bought this car in 2012. She paid 28 lakh rupees on road for this vehicle. Mumbai registration.
And it's worth. Look, now also it's been so old, it is still stable.
The brakes are not working. Okay, thankfully I am Flintstone. I put my leg outside and I do yabba dabba doo, and I stop it with my legs. Yeah. So the indicator placement, obviously whatever is there with the German cars. I like this car. I absolutely love it, and it's on sale right now for 13,000 rupees. 13,000 or 15,000 rupees, somewhere around that. I'm ready to get it right now, Neha. I will give you installments. EMI की मुझे बता दो, खरीद लेता हूँ. I love the engine. This engine is such a gem. Okay, paddle shifters are there. You can manually take control of things as well, which is again a great thing. Now when Neha sat in the car and she was driving, fuel consumption बहुत खराब है, fuel पी रही है गाड़ी, because you know actually she read 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is showing right now as 8.6 kilometers per liter. Basically it's consuming 8.6 liters every 100 kilometers, which turns out to be around 12.5 kilometers per liter right now, but it will give you a mileage of almost 15 kilometers per liter if you drive it sanely, which means that it's a very frugal car. Yeah, surprisingly frugal. Obviously it's a diesel. A diesel is a diesel.
No, it's a superb. It's a superb. It's superb.
And this finally calls me saying, let's give it the beans. Turn the steering lock on the right, get into sport mode, traction control off, air conditioning off, ball tires, revving the motor, rev still, okay, it revs till 1500 RPM because of the DSG-ness of this thing. Let the traffic clear a bit. Chaliye, chaliye, chaliye.
Mama, मेरे दिल की धड़कनें पड़ी हुई हैं.
And here we launch. Holy moly, it goes till 5000 RPM. In fact, this car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 10.5 seconds, which is very quick, and it will do a top speed of almost 200 kilometers per hour. So yes, performance is more than ample and more than ever you would expect from a car of this size and price. Now, of course, you can't buy a new one. So let's talk about in the used market. You would get one around 3-4 lakh rupees, somewhere around that. What you need to look out for is electronics, okay, because it has all these lights flashing as if it's Christmas, and that can, you know, worry you, because getting those address can cost a lot of money as well. In fact, once Neha turned on the car long back before she sold it, and she saw all the lights, and then she's like, मैं बेच रही हूँ इस गाड़ी को, I'll buy something which does not have any electronics whatsoever. And of course the Duster doesn't have any electronics at all. Okay, it has got autonomous braking. What it does is, if you keep driving straight now, you have to apply brakes on your own, obviously. Oh man, this is getting hot right now, because there's a lot of fungus which is getting into our, I'm serious, there's so much fungus in the car right now. Where was this car? Where did you park it? Where did the fungus come from? Now, obviously, there are 3 drive modes on offer rather for the gearbox. You can drive in regular D. This is regular D. It doesn't really push all the way to 5000 RPM there. You can get into sport, or you can actually get into D and push this on the left side. The trick I used to keep playing whenever she was driving the car, so that she used to get frustrated, because she knows more fuel consumption happens here. We are shifting, it says 1, 2, and it doesn't hold on to a gear. 5000 RPM is where it goes to. This engine is such a gem now. Volkswagen's 2-liter TDI motor is wow. It's absolutely sensational. Another good thing is it has a physical handbrake. Okay, we're going to take a turn ahead. Okay, when you're going to make a turn ahead, I need you to pull the handbrake once I give enough lock to the car. So we slide the rear out and we just do a nice little drift from this car. And obviously the tires are almost bald as well, so it's going to support our cause too. So the Škoda Superb 2nd generation pre-facelift model is still a gem. It does rattle a bit, which is surprising and very un-Škoda like, because the Škoda car should not rattle at all. Should we test the brakes of the car? No, actually my camera is lying behind, otherwise I would have applied brakes so hard right now, this camera would be beyond that windscreen as well. Don't give me that look, Neha. I understand it hurts your heart every time I wheel spin your car, but since I taught you this very thing of how to wheel spin a car with the Ford Endeavour 2.2 with rear wheel drive, I understand.
झूठ बोल रहे हो तो मैंने किया, फिर तुम्हें ego hurt हुआ. How can she do it? फिर मैं भी करूँगा. फिर तुमने start किया.
Oh yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah, wait.
There's a dust storm ahead. Oh, no, it's not a dust storm ahead. Actually, that truck is coming. So this car still feels so good to drive. It's so much fun. It has a character which is missing in the new Škoda Superb. Unfortunately, hopefully with the 4th generation model, that character will be back. The steering is really very nice. I love the steering wheel on the car. The brakes could have been better. The ride is on the stiffer side. It's not really compliant or comfortable, because none of our roads are comfortable. So you know what? Look at this. There's this continuous movement which is happening. Like, it's a body on frame. Obviously, this is not a body on frame. This is a monocoque platform car. But in spite of that, there's always this continuous movement happening. Why is this continuous movement happening? Because the suspension is stiff. Okay, there is good amount of travel, which helps to a certain extent. But you can continuously feel, okay, this car is not feeling comfortable, and a stiff ride on a Škoda Superb does not make any sense. You know, this is a big car. This is a really big car. I don't understand how Neha has been driving it for such a long time, because the length of this car is more than 4.8 meters long. Now, of course, she's downsized and she's opted for a Duster which has a 4.4 meter length as such. So this is a super duper long car. The good thing is it's very easy to drive and a lot of fun as well. The engine punches really nice and hard. And once you get past the initial bite, you're like, okay, fine, things are better in terms of the braking performance, but it could have been a lot better. The brakes, they just don't inspire that confidence somehow. Okay, taking a turn, you have to give that extra lock, but no problem here. 5000 RPM, yeah baby. I'm getting a lot of sweat right now because this car is hot AF, because the sun is right on our head. I love the high-speed stability and the steering feel, which is sensational. I cannot believe a Superb, which is so old right now, I mean this is as old as Neha, probably a little bit more as well, is having such a good driving character. Wow, okay, enough is enough. Let's try the braking performance. And time to get into sport mode. Revving the motor. the wheels continuously keep spinning. That's also fantastic. So if you're looking to buy a Skoda Superb used one, I would suggest not to buy it unless and until you have a lot of money in your bank to ensure that you can keep up with the maintenance of this car, because when things go wrong, they really go wrong. But when things are right, this is an absolute charm of a vehicle. A lot of these are available in the used car market. If you want to do charity to the Indian government, go and opt for the petrol model because it drinks even more fuel. There was a 3.6 litre 4x4 version of the Superb as well, a petrol model that used to drink so much fuel that even the M5 could not compete with it. Yeah, that is a fact. I don't know why they launched it. 4-wheel drive in a sedan didn't make any sense whatsoever. And V6, crazy, 6 cylinders, petrol. I was going to use the word mad, but this is inappropriate because yeah, many people had this preconceived notion that you should stay away from diesel cars. Well, drive the Superb and your mind would change. That's how mind-blowing this car is. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you liked it, make sure to give it the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Tell me honestly, what do you think of the Superb? What kind of a car is it?
It is very good car. It is not on high maintenance which you were mentioning previously. It is very good. थोड़ा बहुत इशू हो जाता है, पुरानी ये मशीन है, दिक्कत हो जाती है, otherwise it's very good. तुमने खुद ने एक्सेप्ट किया था.
I will tell you something, our project car is older than this. I have never had a check light for the tire pressure monitor, for the airbags, for the ESP system, I have never had water in diesel in it.
नहीं भैया, वो पेट्रोल गाड़ी है, ये डीजल कार है.
हाँ, तो
और उसमें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक नहीं है.
Oh.
#reality check.
And on that reality check, it's time to end. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
झूठ बोलता है इंसान, मेरा बहुत होती है झूठ बोलने के भी. कह नहीं हो, सुपर बहुत अच्छी है. एंड मशीन है यार, राजनीतिक इश्यूज होंगे.